Maybe.
Question mark. Maybe.
Did it work?
Are we back?
Oh, I see something. Oh, yeah.
Did it work?
It looks. I see. We're moving on the thing I can see, so I'm hoping. Or I'm having a
I'm
vision.
looking. Yes. Yes,
All right.
I see us.
You see
Okay.
us?
Yay!
Smooth? We're good?
Yes.
see us.
Okay.
Yay!
Oh.
Okay. It looks like we're back. Okay.
Yes, you're a
Drop this overhead.
champion. Holy crap.
No,
Everyone
okay.
we
God.
can't be here without Anya and
Yeah,
okay.
Oh, dream team.
Okay.
We've got this.
We got this. It's fine.
First of all, excellent transition, y'all. Excellent transition. Okay. Good job, Anya. Good job, Liz. I'm proud of you all. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
Shout outs to Sarah with the assist behind the scenes.
Really quick, let's
Absolutely.
do a sound check now that we are live, just to make sure. Starting with Megan.
Hello, sound check.
Okay, Maddie.
Hello. For breakfast, I had some Jaffa cakes.
That sounds delicious. I'm next on the list. Anya.
Hi, I am talking and not stressed out at all.
Oh no. And
I'd like to roll an insight check on Anya to see if she is stressed.
Oh no, we
All
lost
right.
Megan.
chat, things are I now have the con. So just let me know if anyone seems too quiet. Oh, we've lost Megan.
We lost Megan. Hopefully she'll come back. There we go. Okay.
Yeah. Chat, just communicate if anyone's too quiet or too loud, and I can change that on my end. But we should be good.
Beautiful.
It's okay. We got Megan back.
We're
now.
good.
We're good.
The void said we don't want her and return her.
I would threaten the void because we need her.
No, it was dark in
The
there.
voice- the void said, "Oops, sorry, you're gonna need this," and brought her back.
My life just flashed before my eyes. I felt the tea go up
Yeah.
my nose.
The void said no thanks.
The void said, "Oops, my bad." Okay, enough of that.
Oh.
All right, so we're gonna speed run through the disasters. Are there? Okay, we are back. Thank you to the audience for bearing with us. I think we're just gonna. I don't think we really need to do letters. If there are any specific things that need to be set up with letters, I'm gonna do like a lightning round of something though, just for reasons. Arden,
Yes.
you get a letter, not via peacock, but another sort of bird, a dove, and it is sealed with the familiar seal of your ex. Now he uses doves because peacocks are jerks.
That's adorable.
Refined Regency era gentle people use doves. So there is the letter.
I'm sure
There is a letter that says that basically says, my dearest Arden, to my surprise, I found this box and at my front door with all of these letters. And I'm like, you still use peacocks? That's hilarious. And then in parentheses, and then so, and then essentially it says, you can't keep avoiding this forever. I would like to see you again so that we can hash out our differences. That's the vibe. I'm sure there's some flowery language in there, but the vibe is let's hash things out.
I imagine this arrives to Arden just as they send for Letitia to be like, can I like verbally beat the hell out of your ex, right? So Arden's like really wound up already.
Yeah.
And they just deflate. Like they just kind of collapse into a fainting couch in the atrium somewhere, and they just hold this in their hands because it's been 5 years. And this seeing that dove again, I think really just like hit something like a nerve in their chest that they didn't know was there.
Excellent. That's what I wanted. Maddie also gets a letter from her uncle. Because at this point, I imagine that the word of her party has gone out, invitations have been sent, things are happening in the background. And basically it says, my dearest niece, I am so proud of you and excited for how well you've gotten along after the passing of your parents, and like all of that flowery sentimental family stuff. Um, and then it says, I'm sure that my invitation perhaps got lost in the mail or something. You
Ooh,
totally didn't send one, but essentially he's just like
yeah,
trying to invite himself. It's like,
angling,
I'll
yeah.
be back in Avondale uh, uh, shortly before the party, and I would like to visit with you and your darling sister. Yeah, so he's basically just inviting himself to your party now. That's the
Cool.
vibes.
Cool.
Um,
Yeah, I will reply with the most polite, like dripping with politeness. I'm dreadfully sorry. I must have the courier that I hired will be fired instantly and all this kind of thing.
you
And
actually give him extra money not to do it.
yeah. And yeah, I will accept the invitation, but inside I am absolutely furious, and I'm like, because I know that my uncle is big into gambling and is not discreet about it at all, and is just using this as an opportunity to get into my good graces and possibly sponge some money off me for his debts or something like that. That's what I'm expecting. So yeah.
Yeah, so he actually has been traveling. So he's not even in Avondale, but sends a letter that he's coming. So at least he's letting you know in advance that he's
Yeah.
coming. What else do you need? I think that's it. Unless Verity wants a meltdown and in the form of receiving a letter, because that seems to be the thing. I don't
just assume. Just assume that she's gotten letters and she's having a meltdown. But that's just par for the course.
Yeah.
The sun
Do you
rises,
think
Verity
Penny
has a
would?
meltdown.
Do you think Penny? Do you think Penny would write a letter, or write a letter? Like,
Actually, I think it's this. Just real quickly, I think Verity sends Penelope a letter, but tries to make it seem like it's not from her. That it's just anonymous. That, hey, there's this party, and I hear it's gonna be really cool, and maybe you can show up. I hear some interesting stuff might happen.
maybe you just send. Maybe you just send like an invitation anonymously, just the invitation. You
Oh,
could do
with a
that.
note that just says, "Love to see you there?" Question mark. But she wrote it with her left hand, trying to disguise her handwriting.
Is it
So instead, it
legible?
just looks like a child has written it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Smash cut to Penelope receiving this letter with her head tilted to the side, going, "Huh." Okay, that's it.
This child's handwriting is a lot like Verity's. I'm sorry. I'm
So,
sorry.
whose complication do we want to drop first? Important question. How does Letitia respond to Arden's warning?
She is very like conflicted because she still has some feelings for Celine. She does, but also knowing who Celine really is and how she lied to them is not okay. And so very very stressed out is the general theme. And they're thinking they're probably gonna have to explain everything to Arden. as much as they did not want to.
Arden's like got the steel chair.
Smash cut to Letty just like going to Arden's house and being like, okay, let's go. So go ahead, explain the situation to your bestie at their house.
We're in the gazebo, snacks, tissues.
Secret
we're
gazebo.
Here. We're seated.
The secret gazebo.
Yes.
I love it. It's not something that's easy, to say the least. Clunch wants details on our snacks.
Oh, of course. I have details on the snacks. We have fresh apple slices. We have options of caramel, peanut butter, unless you're allergic, because that would suck. And whatever else you dip apples in. I don't know. We have cheeses.
Honey. You
That
dip
one.
apples and honey. Pulling my Jewish roots here, especially for Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year. You absolutely dip apples in honey, and it is delicious.
So good. That's on the board. That's absolutely there.
Is it like a charcuterie board?
Yes. I can't say what I was gonna say, but yes. Yes, definitely, but probably without meat, because I imagine Arden doesn't really eat meat.
Which is perfect because Letitia, being Jewish, would not have meat with dairy products, so you would also know that.
Excellent. So
Arden knows.
It's a good spread.
Yeah,
and we have
Arden totally knows. Perfect host.
Oh, perfect board.
Yep.
They're trying their best.
Great.
They're very angry. They make really good snacks when they're angry.
Yes.
Rage snacking.
Rage snacking is the best snacking. Anyway, Letitia is distracted by the food and is trying to also like use the food to distract themselves at the same time. It's like crossing, and is just doing a lot of fidgeting, and is like, so after my uncle passed, I went over to France. My mother recognized me as her child, so I had a little bit more money. I took advantage of the fact that I was able to travel a little bit more, and I met Celine, who I thought was Celine. We hit it off right away, and I asked her to marry me, and then once we got over here, I realized that she wasn't who she said she was. And she was actually the servant of someone and was pretending at high society. And her name is Suzette, not Celine. And despite all of that, I still have feelings for her. Despite better judgment and knowledge of what she did and how she took advantage of me. She still means something to me, and I hate that.
Arden takes a very long sip of whatever we're drinking, because they will find self-control in this sip.
Mm-hmm.
And they put down the glass. Okay. I am no stranger to harboring unwise feelings, so I will not hold that against you, my dear. I never would. But I have some questions. As you see, we're in a bit of a predicament. If Suzette, if her intentions at this moment were to be honest, would you want to see her?
I don't know. Honestly.
I don't know. That's an answer. I have a thought, because maybe I'm jaded, but I don't trust her. I don't like her, and I don't think I ever will, because your heart is a precious thing, and she spat on it. So I have a plan. Um, Suzette, and they're going to say it like that every time. Um,
Mhm.
sent me a note asking for a tour of the town. I'm almost positive there is some motive connected to you. If I were to hypothetically, kindly, and without much harm run them out of town, how would we feel?
And Letitia has to have a very long think about this. Like she has torn up whatever is able to be torn up, like a little pastry of some kind. It is just in crumbs, and I'm sure that one of the peacocks has come over and just absolutely destroyed whatever has been torn up. Um, and finally, just looks at you and says, honestly, I don't think any good will come of her being here, and whatever it is would be most likely trying to take advantage of me and my feelings. And I don't want that. It's already been hard enough.
I don't want that either. Um, I think it's interesting that a servant would play at high society, not because that's an unreasonable thing to dream of, but just because it's a lie that's very easy to unravel. And I wonder what would happen if someone started pulling on that thread.
I don't think it would be very difficult to do. I think that she hoped coming over here from the continent that it would be easier to hide. But
Any
who
vermin can
knows?
be flushed out with the right tools.
She's not. And
I, I'm
Letty is
sorry.
very conflicted. Like, she's
Arden
not.
will Arden will like back off. They're too hyper right now.
Yeah.
Could I please spend a monologue token to find out what's happening in Letty's head?
Yes, absolutely. Smash cut
Yes.
monologue. Go.
Oh, goodness. So all I can think about is what's going on in Anya's head right now, which is that she's very suddenly comparing this to George and Lydia Wickham from the Lizzie Bennet diaries specifically. So, um, but just very, very heartbroken because they care a lot about this person that they thought they knew, but isn't who they said they were. And, not being of society, like that's not the end of the world. It was the fact that she lied to them. That was the thing, that she took advantage of them and their kindness, and they still care about this person. No matter what she did to hurt them, they still care. And that's really, really hard uh to connect and to think about and to reconcile in their mind.
I think Arden would give you an idea for a plan, because Lish just had an idea for a plan,
Oh, excellent.
which is that if this whenever, because I did say in that note, I'm not going to tell you I wrote this in. I'm going to pretend
Oh,
as
yeah.
if I thought of this in the moment, even though that note's in
Uh-huh.
reserve. But saying like, she can come over at her convenience, and we'll have a nice tea and a day on the town, and I will be on my best behavior. And
Fingers crossed behind their back.
yeah, best behavior. But what
Mhm.
if while we were having tea, a note found them at my estate by courier that suggested that there was a certain awareness from an anonymous source that they are not what they say they are.
I think that that would be perfectly acceptable. And I do know the name of her mistress that
I would love
she
that information. Tell your mom.
um
No, it's not her mom, but still.
yeah. And I'll come up with a name later, but I give you the name of the woman that she worked for previously in France.
Okay. So I will take that then, and at some point later in
Actually,
the ether.
may may I may I
Yeah.
suggest? Okay, I would say she what is her name? I would say she worked for the Viscountess Beatrice Dupont. That's where she
Okay.
worked in France.
Okay. I will use that information to set this trap then. Um, I'm gonna drop an anonymous letter. I'm gonna purposefully have maybe even one of my servants like write it, and so the handwriting isn't recognizable.
Yeah.
Like just a very much like a hello, Suzette. Like we've been trying to contact you about your fake identity. Be
About your car's extended warranty.
yeah, be a be a shame if your car's extended warranty made it into the scandal papers. Would it not leave Letty alone? Like in more eloquent, threatening terms, but like
Yes.
that's the gist of it. And
Yeah,
I'll
no,
have
it'll
that.
it'll be like, it would be a shame if your employers heard of this.
Yes,
Your
and I'm
employers
I'm
that
gonna
you
just
stole from.
I'm gonna be as specific as possible. Like any specific information that Letty would give me about what happened,
Mhm.
I would include it in the note.
Yes. And then add a couple of like flares of things that Letty wouldn't know, but maybe you could hazard a guess at.
Yes. And I will take that note, which we'll write together. And as
Mhm.
soon as we are finished lunching or whatever for the day, because you don't necessarily have to
Yes.
leave, but once we have finished this, both the threat letter I'm gonna hold on to because it has to be delivered during our meetup.
Yes.
But I'm gonna
Mhm.
immediately send out the oh my god, we're gonna be such great friends. Please come hang out with me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send that out. Right.
Um,
Excellent.
so you your staff knows that whatever's happening in the gazebo typically is not to be interrupted, except there is a sort of like you kind of hear it in the background of like frenzied whispers from a couple of your staff and like, do we tell them? Now's not the time. They're in the gazebo. And like this kind of frantic exchange outside the gazebo.
Darlings, you are not
Oh.
as quiet as you think.
And then like like perfect unison, it's like a pair of twins. They're like, we're sorry.
You have nothing to apologize for. You've just piqued my interest. Come.
They they're not so the in my mind, I imagine the gazebo is like sacred ground that
Oh
most
yeah.
staff are like not allowed into. So the fact that they're being called in, the twins are like, ooh, like wide eyed, and then they're like, um, so there's a situation, and then the two of them look very conflicted, like they don't want to tell you, but they also want to tell you. Um,
I
uh,
am gonna
Mr. Holloway is uh in the sitting room waiting.
Arden,
And they both blurt this out at the same time, like, simultaneously.
why is he
Twins.
here? Sorry, that was Liz. That was not Arden. I think Arden
What do you want us to do? Maybe we can send him away, give you some time.
I think Arden is like in the middle of gathering up like a little plate of snacks for them because like they see the way they're looking at the gazebo and the gazebo's only secret because it's Letty's. It's not necessarily because staff can't be there. So they're kind of just
Mhm.
in the middle of
Well,
that and
they
then just shatter the plate on the floor
Oh no.
okay, so your staff, like, they will do
on
anything for
accident.
Arden, right? So they just like they immediately snap to like fixing, like picking up things. They're like, "We're so sorry. We just we," and then they get all like rambly and speechless and like, "We can tell them that you're unavailable."
Okay, before Arden's just gonna like blue screen. Liz is pulling out for a second. So
Okay,
because there's just been a lot of Arden up until this point, and I know we don't have a
yeah,
lot of time. I Arden would want to talk to Charlie immediately, but I can put that off for a
no,
different like later thing if
yeah,
because it's just been a lot of me, and I don't want it to be that.
no, it's okay. It was just more setting things up, and I just thought I so you know
Okay, so yeah, if it wouldn't happen now, then that's
yeah.
I'll say Arden would want to go talk to them now, but it wouldn't necessarily.
Like
I just
we
didn't
don't
want it to
we
be.
don't have to play it out
Yeah.
necessarily, but it's just a smash cut. So I have a question for Verity. It's
You're muted.
I'm you're muted.
Here we go.
Oh yeah, no, that was me a initial oh no, and then I would have a verbal oh no, as I come back on like oh no, attention.
Oh my
Uh
goodness.
okay. So you know how we discussed Verity's background?
Yeah.
Uh where does Verity uh kind of hang out to train these days, or does she is she out of practice? Does she still do the,
I, yeah.
boxing thing? Does she have like
Yeah.
do her parents have the Regency equivalent of like a gym in the basement or something?
Oh, absolutely not. But I think they have like a garden with some trees, and what she's done is because they don't like they have a garden, but it's for looks because you're supposed to have a garden. Her parents stay inside. They're very stuffy. So there's one tree that had like this really thick trunk, and she's actually just kind of like wrapped some fabric around it, and she still has her gloves from her steamer boat days of traveling. So I think that's kind of how she not just to train, but mainly like I have to keep this part of myself alive. Like, I'm not who they think I am. It's very it's therapy, but also just like a little like, yeah, everything's
So
fine.
so
I'm doing great.
so your family's not as like you're not a part of the peerage, but you are still kind of wealthy enough to have some help around the house, right?
Yeah.
Um, so you have one person, one person who kind of is there for you. Your parents have made arrangements, they're not going to leave you to do all of your stuff on your own,
Uh,
like, um,
she'd want
so,
to, and they won't let her. Like, I know I can do that. Fine.
but it's
It's
also more of
that.
like a companion, like a sidekick, someone to hang out with also. And their name is Evelyn. So Evelyn kind of has become this like support for you. So when you go to like work out, they know to like keep the parents away sort of
Oh,
deal and like cover for you. And they basically do everything from like sending off your mail, delivering things, the
I
one person. And when you go out to this tree, Evelyn kind of just like is there. Like maybe she's holding up a cushion or something, like,
oh,
like
uh,
for training or
I think Verity has slowly talked her into doing that.
yeah,
Like, "It's okay, they're never gonna miss that pillow. I just like, the tree doesn't duck and dodge. Don't worry, I won't hit you." So she's like,
like she's like yeah,
"Yeah.
and
No,
she's
you're
like
doing great. Okay,
so
I'm gonna go back to the tree. It's okay, thank you. I know you're trying your best, but now I have anxiety."
it's okay. It's okay. I didn't mean to.
"Oh,
I
no, you're
wanted
doing."
I actually came out here to ask you something.
"Oh, okay,
Um,
yes."
so I don't know if this is like, me overstepping my boundaries, but I that last envelope you asked me to deliver, the one with the invitation with the
Oh,
unsigned note?
yeah, it's a very
Like
important one, yes.
So what is the deal with you and um Miss Steele? I mean, I know I'm like we haven't known each other for that long and it's probably none of my business, but I am kind of curious. And I'm not going to tell anyone.
Uh, just a blank look. Because in Verity's head, here's what's happening. She would love to tell someone else about this, but also she's on high alert. Because in her brain, she's on spies are everywhere, and I'm going to figure it out. So she's going to take an interesting. She's going to do something. She's like, okay, I will. I will. We used to uh bicycle together throughout the village. They did not. She's very specifically telling a lie.
In
Yeah,
case
but
there's
like we had
someone
to
in the
stop.
trees.
But we had to stop because it became too scandalous.
Well, of course, bicycling together
Yeah.
in the town with no chaperone.
Yes. Yes. And that's exactly what our connection is. And it would be it would break me if that got out anywhere. And she looks like very serious at her. So you have my confidence.
Of course.
Yeah.
And then she produces one of the old scandal sheets from her pocket, and she's like, um, for the record, I would never tell anyone, but someone seems to know about it. Seems to have seen you two together.
Uh,
And then she
uh,
puts it back in her pocket, like,
uh, uh,
oh, no, 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 go ahead, grab it.
no, no, no. She tries.
It's the
No, that's fine. She's like,
okay. She's
I've
like,
already seen this one.
yeah, it's not the most recent one, but the one before it. I still haven't gotten a hold of the most recent one, but it's fine.
I
I'm sure
mean,
they're not talking about you anymore.
yeah, scandal sheets are full of uh, guesses and people airing petty grievances. There's nothing in there to I except for the Arden one. They're on the edge and they will probably explode during that party. But besides that, I you can't know anything about that.
She looks kind of confused, but then she says, "Well, I've heard some really fun things about Mix Blair and their parties, but Temper? That one's new to me."
Uh, just under a lot of pressure and um and she'll go in like she's really telling a secret. I've spent some time with them and I can see it. Like when you can see the look behind someone's eyes, like it's a ticking clock.
They are like totally locked in and they're like,
Okay. Oh,
"Yeah."
yeah, but seriously, don't tell anyone. This would be a horrible breach of etiquette and could ruin multiple lives.
She thinks very carefully and she says, "Of course, I wouldn't dare tell anyone."
Okay. I know
Um
I could trust you. Pat on the shoulder.
she kind of considers something for a moment and then she leans in and says, "So, you know how there's certain like houses with unionized staff?
Yes, yes, I have heard that.
Well, and then there are people like me who are not
Ah,
part of a union, but like are, just we just kind of work on a freelance basis. Anyway, um there's a network, like just a bunch of people talking around and gossiping. That's a
oh,
whole thing. I just I wouldn't tell anyone and like I'm not cool enough to hang out there, but
oh,
if there are things you don't want getting out, maybe you
oh,
should like look into that.
oh, so just a network of freelance folks?
Yeah, well, non-unionized help.
Ah,
They're just it's a
okay.
social thing, like,
Oh
you know
yeah.
how people tend to gossip, but, like,
Yes.
it's a whole thing, and I've never
Oh,
been cool enough to, like, actually hang out with
oh, okay.
them, but, like,
with genuine concern out, like reaches out to Evelyn's hands. I I don't think I think that you're too kind a person to be with it. They're don't worry about being cool. I think that's a
But
dangerous game to play.
but if you wanted to know stuff, like I want to help you. Like
Uh,
what if they're talking about you there? Maybe I can help you like find stuff out.
mm, Verity thinks for a good long minute. Okay, okay, Evelyn. Okay, okay. I do very much want to know more about this, mostly because people I care about are being hurt and I don't want them to be. I don't care so much about what people say about me, but there's others who don't deserve that. Um I if it's safe for you, I would love some information to maybe at least stem some of it. Um some of the harmful stuff. Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna see if I can get an in. I mean, I'll do my best.
Oh, okay. Um
But if you really
I'm going to
don't,
put some
but
trust
if
in you,
you
Evelyn.
but if you really don't care about what they say about you, maybe I can give them something about you to like entice them to let me join them.
Oh. Oh,
Like
probably
give
something
them
more than
something.
bicycles, huh?
Probably something more than bicycles, yeah.
Okay. 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 All
It
right.
doesn't have to
I
be
don't
true, but
yeah. Oh no. No, okay.
you
It's
can
got to
feed
be
me you can feed me something interesting to maybe they'll
it has
let
to be
me in.
pretty crackerjack. Okay. Oh boy. Okay. Tell them it shouldn't be a mystery how my husband Harrison died because it's very
Oh, hey.
easy to push
What
someone over the rails of a ship.
Evelyn's Evelyn's jaw drops at this
Okay.
revelation
Okay.
and
No,
she's
no.
like,
I just knew it had to be juicy. That's juicy, right?
Evelyn is nodding very slowly at this.
Okay. Oh.
And then she asks in a quiet voice, "How did he actually die?"
Oh. Oh, I mean, he always told me to tell everyone that a lion ate him because it would be exciting, but he got sick. That's all. He got sick.
Oh.
So oh no, then I ruined the boat. Okay, tell them there was a lion on the boat too. Oh, uh, it was. He always had that sense of humor. Uh,
Evelyn's face, like just the her brown eyes are like the wheels are turning and she's just like,
oh,
okay, you know what? You know what? We have something to work with. Um, I'll do my best.
I, I'm going to trust you to package whatever I told you in the most acceptably scandalous manner.
Wait, so um the lion ate the ship. No, wait,
Oh,
I'm gonna
oh,
have to
oh, it
I'm
was,
gonna
I think you're gonna say it was general chaos. And in the chaos of the lion escaping, perhaps that is
okay, like
when
okay,
her
but
husband was pushed over.
what if the lion okay.
Can I
No,
spend a
okay.
resolve token? Can I offer one?
I
Sure.
was going to, but you can go for it.
Okay, I'm gonna say mine and then you say yours, and I want to see which one's funnier. Mine is probably just gonna make things worse. I would love if this is like a holding an action kind of thing. I would love if when Evelyn actually goes to tell this story, that she does get it out right, but she's so convincing that they want more from Verity. Like in her panic, she's just so cutthroat and convincing, and they're like, oh my god, you have to tell us more about Miss Verity Everworth. And she just starts sweating.
What you got, Anya?
My complication with this was going to be that she actually, like, by chance came across someone who knows the person who's putting out the scandal papers and just by mistake tells this person, same like with this, like full on super convincing, and like straight up tells someone connected to the scandal papers.
I like yours better.
Maddie, would you like to throw something in to be better, to make this better?
I don't think I can top that. I really want to, but I don't think I can.
Okay, well, okay, but see, here's the thing. Everyone has offered something different. So Megan can then say yes, no, or yes and take the tokens, whatever.
I
Like,
feel like this has to be a yes and yes situation because it is escalations on a couple different on the like on the gossip network, and then whoever's actually like there has to be like a person who like puts it out, right? Like the
yeah.
so fantastic. I want them all on high alert and like what's up with Verity? It worked too
In that
well.
case, in that case, um Letitia, you can drop a resolve token, and so can Arden, and then
Can one
Verity
of
can
you
take two.
do
Hmm?
it for me? I'm afraid to open a new tab.
It's
I
okay,
will
it's
do
okay. I got
it.
it.
I've
Thank
got
you.
it.
Oh,
No, I've
okay.
got it. I've got it.
Everything has to stay exactly as it is.
No,
I've
you're
had to
good.
get
You're good. You're
exceptions.
good. You're good. You're good.
Okay, I've
Um,
done the thing.
all right. So, because I don't think we're gonna get another rumor phase. Let me double check. No, we're not getting another rumor phase. I'm gonna say that it does happen, and
Mhm.
Fantastic.
eventually, like you will hear whispers from like other smaller houses who cannot afford to get unionized help, like just those uh like I guess freelance help that just are unorganized. Anyway, they start talking about Verity.
As a freelancer, yes, very disorganized.
Yeah, it is not,
Can confirm.
they're not part of an organization. They're their own people, right? Like whatever. They
Mhm.
are talking about Verity. Um the unionized help, they're not exactly detached from it, but they don't actively participate in this, gossip network, right? That's a little bit below them. Like even the help have their own like hierarchy, social hierarchy, but they don't. But it does, in a really weird way, get back around to Arden's staff, whoever's working for Flora as well. Like in the houses, like the rumor starts spreading like really hard. You hear about Verity's husband that got pushed off a boat by a lion and then got eaten by a shark. There's all sorts of wild stories that are like coming out, but you hear them in the Drummond and the Blair houses. They hear like tiny bits of it because they're a little more detached from it, but you start to hear about it. Um,
Poor dear. No wonder she's so anxious.
yeah. So that's what's up. Evelyn has done her job. I don't know how well. Um,
Evelyn's
but
great.
Too well.
um, yeah. Um, and then we don't have an official phase, but it does eventually come around to the scandal papers as well. Um, I want to check in with uh Flora as well. How's Flora doing with the preparations of this party?
I think she is on the one hand very stressed and scared, but on the other hand enjoying it quite a lot. She likes getting everything like sorted and organized, and she has like the Regency equivalent of a binder with like
Oh,
like
there's a whole
scrapbooks
book.
and yeah, it's like she's planning a wedding or something. She's got like mood boards and all this kind of thing, and she's just like getting really
Arden's
into it.
Arden's in the background assisting as well.
Yeah,
They
Yeah,
have
yeah.
I
they
think
have
Arden
escaped.
also has a binder.
They have escaped their like situation temporarily and like, we'll talk later. I gotta help my friend.
Yeah, no, Arden, I think, goes full escapist mode. Like, and instead of coming inside like they normally would, they just like hop the fence or something ridiculous and like go to Lady Flora's. And
Yeah,
they just
well,
have someone deliver their crate of party planning materials there and then just park on the
it's
couch and
it's a
start like anxiously eating and helping plan. Like
it's
that's
a couple it's
Nice.
a
I love
couple
it.
it takes a couple of staff members to actually like lug the huge the crate over with all the materials, and then they scurry off, and you essentially have pulled the we'll have a conversation about this but later, and
and
then
it's worse. It's through a staff member. Like he hasn't even
and
seen
then
me.
yeah, and then you get a message back indirectly. It was like, you can't, it's just a note that says you can't hide forever, we need to talk.
Arden, hold on.
And then it's signed C.
Um,
Oh no.
okay, hold on. Odds they do something ridiculous and anxiety fueled evens their normal. It's a natural one again. Arden
Fine.
looks at this letter, this note, and between the everything of the past few hours, they just eat it. Like they just crumple it and they just put it in their mouth. And
Is
then
this in the room with Flora?
oh yeah, like they just sit in the corner, like not improper, but definitely like approaching goblin mode, and they're just
Oh,
staring
this is
into the
definitely
crate.
goblin mode. This is Regency era
Remember how
goblin mode.
remember how it was like a funny haha when we're like, oh, Arden's gonna stage a breakdown at this party. It won't be staged.
Too
It
real,
will
man.
be
Too real.
staged.
Method acting.
Too real, man. Too real. Okay. So, Flora and Arden are doing this planning. Um, and I imagine Clara's not at home. That's what I imagine. I imagine Clara's hanging out with with Ash and is at the Spring Blossom Estate surrounded by Ash's family. We don't have to RP them. I just imagine Clara's not here. Like, but
She's just having the best time.
she's getting
Context
to
for
know.
anyone who hasn't watched before, when my glasses are off, I'm Clara.
She's Clark Kenting it. Anyway, so over the course of the season, because we time jumped a bit, she's been getting to know the Gardner family and kind of integrating herself, solidifying this
The
alliance,
match.
the romance. Like, she's
Yeah.
she's taking steps in her own weird way to also help uplift the Drummond name kind of by accident of just the process of teenage
By
young love.
not and then doing things right.
Well,
After
no,
almost ruining things.
sometimes younger siblings just need a little guidance.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fair.
so um you guys are starting to hear murmurings about Verity. The two of
Mm.
you have started hearing about that and are planning a party. Um and so what are you guys discussing? I just wanted to vibe check this situation for or Flora as well. Like,
Yeah, I think if the letter eating has just happened, I think Flora is like, I'm sorry, I'm not quite sure what's happening here. Do you need some food, or is this more of an emotional situation? I apologize. I'm not very good with this sort of thing.
I think Arden visibly reboots. Like there's the moment where they remember where they are and what they have just done in front of the only member of the peerage that is here in this group. And I think
awkward.
they just kind of straighten their posture and they go, no, everything's great. What color are you thinking for your drapery in the halls? I was thinking a nice pastel would suit your sensibility. Like they're just
Yeah. I think like half of Florence, she's a very conflicted person in all things. Half of her brain is going, yes, I was actually thinking of lilac, but she doesn't say that. She kind of goes, wait, I feel like you're concealing something from me, and I know that I may not be the most approachable person, but I want you to know that if you need to discuss anything, I would be very happy to listen.
I think Arden just got like fistfuls of the fabric from the crate. Like it's swatches and everything. That's the crate. Is it's swatches and examples of dishware. It's just a party planning kit in a box. And they just kind of let it all fall. And they look at you. Oh, are they gonna talk about it? They'll talk about it. Well, first of all, you are plenty approachable. This is absolutely nothing to reflect on you. I've just had, as they say, a day um, full of events and revelations back to back. And, now I find myself here and I just would like to be useful. And I think in that stream of consciousness, they tell you, like, and also my ex showed up. Like, it's very like, they just keep going like this steamroll as they're sorting through fabrics.
Well, I can certainly understand why you're not feeling at your best, and I'm certainly not the most experienced in matters of the heart, but I would assume that talking to them at some point would be beneficial, but also make sure to look after yourself and make sure that you are not putting yourself in a situation that could cause you harm.
Ooh, Arden's getting good advice. Oh no, their weakness. I think they start to tear up a little bit, and then they just kind of like tilt their head back and neutralize it. Like I will not cry, not like this. That would be the sensible thing to do, but it's been 5 years, and I feel like I don't know how to do this anymore. I loved him with everything that was me. And I gave in like a coward and lost him. And now he's sitting in my sitting room, and I can't even think of what he looks like, if he looks different, if he looks the same. I don't know, because I'm terrified. My past has very rarely succeeded in coming back to haunt me. It tries. This is the first big success in a long time, and I feel as though I've been trotted over by a carriage a few times.
I think that's certainly understandable. I feel like, while this certainly is a big thing for you to happen to you, I generally find that these sorts of things always seem bigger and more terrifying before you actually do them. And when you actually get in there and do the thing that you've been dreading, it can be a sort of relief, even if it doesn't go exactly as you planned. Even if it doesn't go well, it's done, and you don't need to be hard on yourself anymore.
That is wonderful advice, actually. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm certainly very bad at following my own advice, so it's so much easier to help someone else than do what you really need to be doing. Because my uncle is going to be in town, and he is not going to be helpful with my plans for my family. And yes, I know I'm going to have to deal with him. So I'm going to try and follow my own advice and just deal with him.
Just deal with him. And what's he like? What kind of problem is he?
Oh, he's
Arden
he's
is not
very
a proper person.
he's very overt. He's very interested in material goods and wealth.
Hmm.
He's a lover of chance and bets and all that sort of thing that can be fun once in a while as a treat, but he seems to take it more as a lifestyle, which is not necessarily very healthy.
Well, given that the traits you listed are mostly what I do, or at least have been accused of, if you would like someone to perhaps corral your uncle and keep him away from the general festivities, I don't think there's anyone better suited to deal with the materialistic than I.
That would be a huge weight off my mind. I'm hoping I can find some way to um, usher him away more permanently, not in a killing way. That's I know how that sounded. Usher him. I mean, find him a more suitable home that is far away from here. But for this moment, that would be extremely appreciated.
I would like to spend a facilitator token to speed run the complication and have Uncle Philip arrive in this moment.
Oh
Okay.
no.
Yeah, that works for me.
Hold on, let me take one of my no, I'll take one of Uncle Philip's
Like right now or after I
result
leave?
token. Rather as you're leaving, maybe,
Okay.
if that's okay with Flora.
Yeah, that works.
Sick.
I'm
Okay,
gonna give
so
him like a look as I pass by as he's getting out of his carriage, and then I will go back to
so
my estate.
so so you hear as you hear in the background as you're working, Flora, uh, the sounds of your staff, uh, helping someone in, or just it's the sound of a door bursting open, and then a voice that is very familiar to you that says, "Oh, wow, thank you, darlings. Okay, just I need to see my nieces. Please move out of the way." And it's like, "Let us help you," and all of the voices of proper staff, and it's like, all right, that's enough." And there's like, um, just show me to my nieces. Where are they? And that sort of exchange, and you see one of your staff just knocking on the door frame of the room that you are in and says, "I know you said we weren't expecting him for another few days, but your Uncle
It,
Philip is here."
that's all right. Better to deal with this now than later on. All right. Yes, please show him in.
And then like arms open and just like, "Flora, darling, come here and give your favorite uncle a hug." And
I,
he's like
yeah,
your only uncle, but
yeah. I think I just kind of like very kind of like barely touching him, just kind of touch the edges of his arms and just like pats ineffectually, and it's like, oh, lovely to see you, Uncle dearest.
I was thinking about all of these important moments in your life, coming into your own and everything, and it occurred to me that well, you have not reached out and sent any updates of how you're doing and how your sister's doing. And he seems very keen on, like, you know, um trying to get updates. Like, perhaps we could sit and have a tea and have a chat. I also was thinking, of potentially introducing you to friends of mine that may be a potential match. You can't possibly be thinking of doing this on your own.
Well, that is an extremely generous offer, but I am afraid that I am quite busy at the moment organizing a charitable event for Lady Dahlia Garden. I'm sure you can see how important it is that I get this right and put all my time and effort into that. After that, I'm sure we could have a discussion,
Of
but
course, but see, this is why you would need a companion, someone to help you. Perhaps, extra hands make light work, and he's so convinced he wants to play matchmaker for his favorite niece, and he just gets all animated about it. He starts describing like a friend's daughter, another friend's son, and like all these different people of various genders and backgrounds. Like, he's the kind of hedonist that has met a lot of people and lots of has lots of friends. So he just gets all animated and excited.
This is okay. I have resolved token proposition.
Sure.
It's a little out there, so feel free to not, like, I know that's part of the system, but I'm saying it explicitly.
Okay.
Definitely reject it if you're not comfortable.
cool.
Uncle Philip's a hedonist.
Yeah.
You know a hedonist who's just offered to out hedonist your uncle, who's also notably single. You with this resolve token, if you want, you could lie to your uncle and say that you're actually courting Arden,
Amazing.
and as just kind of a posturing thing, whether Lady Flora would do it intentionally or just kind of like blurt it out. Like I said, it's out there, but I'm doing the equations, they're flying in front of my face right now.
More
No,
complications. I mean, you don't have to, but it's on the table now apparently.
no, I love it.
Either
I
way, I'm
think,
gonna bother him at the party, so it's just
yeah, I think that Lady Flora would kind of not intentionally give him the impression that she was courting Arden by kind of saying, "Well, I have a lot of help with the party with Mix On. They've been very helpful in making sure that that this it will be an event to remember. We have very strong partnership in this endeavor." And he's just like, "Partnership, bing."
Yeah.
and,
Wait a
and,
minute.
and I'm,
You mean the child of the Blair family, the one with the really big house and those wild lavish parties?
Yes, yes. I was talking to them about you just earlier today, in fact, and they were very interested to meet you. And so, if you were to come along to the event very soon, I'm sure they would be delighted to make your acquaintance and get to know you better.
Well, I have heard of the Blair family, of course, very distinguished family. I would be delighted to meet them, of course. I am very keen on hearing about your partnership. My goodness, we do have a lot to catch up on, don't we? How is your younger sister doing?
She is very well. She and one of the younger gardener boys, Ash, are having a little courtship, and it seems to be going quite well. They are taking things slowly and making sure that everything is done by the book. And Lady Gardner is very happy to oversee them. I believe she is at the Spring Blossom Estate currently, so they will be suitably chaperoned. And yes, it is an exciting time in her life as a young lady who has just come out into society and um, seeing what society has to offer.
There is a moment where you almost forget that your Uncle Philip is the problem, and he has a genuine moment of like pride in his eyes, and quietly he says, "Your parents would have been so proud of you, would be so proud of you."
I think Flora has a kind of conflicted moment because despite like all the problems that her parents caused for the family, there was like she knows that they did love her and they did want the best for her, but just didn't necessarily go about it in the best way. And so she's kind of conflicted in that moment of she hadn't really thought about that at all. She'd been trying to kind of push her parents out of her mind and kind of leave them in the past. And so she kind of has a moment of not really being sure how to feel about that. And she kind of says, "Thank you. That is very kind of you to say."
Okay, so that proper little catch up, continues or ends as Flora decides. But let me see. I'm going to leave it up to the table. What else do we need to have covered before the big event next week for our finale? What other disasters can we throw into this mix
So
and sort out?
I put this in the chat. Does not necessarily need to be addressed. I just think it's hilarious that Arden has now become a suitor to Lady Flora Drummond at the same time that they have not confronted their ex. And they now have to, like, the scope of this is ridiculous. They have to have a public breakdown at this party for the purpose of the scandal papers to figure out who's posting them. They have to out hedonist Uncle Philip while also keeping up the illusion that they are with Lady Flora because they're going to be loyal. Absolutely. But then they also have to dodge their ex and possibly give Celine the steel chair. All in the same party.
Too much?
They're
Too
going to
much?
be busy.
Too much?
Honestly, if there's, I don't know that there's anything to be done quickly this episode, so I'm kind of okay leaving it all on the back burner. And like, that's up to you. I'm good.
Okay, guys, I just realized, wow, that's gonna be a lot to cram into 2 hours. Okay, cool. I'm gonna check in with everyone else. Maybe delegate the steel chair to Verity. Verity's ready for violence.
We're 100% start. So I said initially Letty's Angels, but it's actually probably Flora's Angels.
Honestly, at this point, yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I probably wouldn't give details to Verity, but I would definitely describe Celine and be like on site. I'm so serious, on site.
You wanna throw down? Here you go, Verity. This is your time.
Verity
to shine.
does want to impress Penelope, and she's pretty sure she can do it through physical prowess.
All right then. So if there's not anything you guys want to set up for next week, because we set a lot up today.
We have a lot going on.
Yeah.
We made up for missing last week.
I would like to set up, if possible, it doesn't need to necessarily play out on screen at all, but I would like to set up that I talk to Freddie about the stuff going on with the scandal papers and that we've been,
I was just about to say, because there's a little switch. I would say Frederick's like, you know what? It's enough. I have enough on my I can't. It's a lot of pressure.
And
you
know what? We can take some extra time to have a brother sibling moment if you guys want it. We can go a little bit over if you want it.
Well,
I want it. I want it. Please do it.
I feel like it's this. They're probably at Arden's, and Frederick is like, you can see
it a
it's both,
gazebo
like
moment.
Arden has not been inside their house since the moment Charlie's arrival was acknowledged. Like, they notably Verity like would. Sorry, not Verity. Freddie would like go to the front door, and Arden's like hopping the fence. Like, it's bad.
And Frederick absolutely recognizes this. Does Frederick know about the gazebo?
I'll leave that up to you.
I like to think this as a brother. He saw this like, and he's like, yeah, because we used to have a secret little play. Like it looks very much like their little like treehouse. So I think he'll just like do a little like, come on, come here,
Hmm.
like, come
Hmm.
here. It's okay. Arden, we need to have a talk. We need sibling time.
Okay.
Because this, I don't worry. And even just like, could we just be even outside the gazebo? Like he can't even wait. I can tell. What's happening, Arden? I've seen that wild look in your eyes before. You are feeling against the wall
I
as you
have
hop
no idea
over
what you're talking
walls,
about whatsoever.
brother. Like just like look me in the eye.
Okay.
Oh, okay, I see. Oh, I can play this game. You know I know how to play this game. We are very good at this game. Arden, okay, I'll go first. I'll go first. I I can't live this life anymore. I I can't be attached to someone who doesn't bring me joy. And I learned that from watching you, brother. I realized that I don't want to live a life where I do not have joy. And you were such an example to me, and you've always been there for me. And I want to be free. And I think I want to help. I don't think I want to help you too. We need to go. We need to be the Blair siblings again. We were unstoppable.
I think Arden looks so fragile for a moment. I'm scheming about something. Oh, yes, I am. Um, Arden's just gonna give Freddie a big hug because that says everything they can't say out loud.
Instantly, an actual warm hug. Like the
Oh,
stiffness is gone.
um, Arden will
I'm
just kind of
here for you,
murmur, "I
Arden.
missed you."
I I missed you too. I'm sorry. I'm sorry Freddie was gone for a while. I was trying to be someone I wasn't. But whatever's happening, and he kind of pulls you back and just like kind of holds your shoulders. Whatever is happening, Arden, we're in this together, and I'll do whatever you need me to do. Okay?
Okay. So I was gonna say that Arden just like word vomits, but I kind of actually want to do it.
Uh,
Like everything
Do
that
it.
happened in the episode.
I'll give you our Zov token to do it.
Okay.
Do it.
So
All of it.
Arden just gets quiet and like I think Freddie would think like, oh okay, we're not gonna talk. That's okay. And then
yeah.
Arden's like, so it all started when my box disappeared. Okay, I wrote I miss him and I wrote letters and I thought it would be fine because then I get my feelings out and I don't have to say them and nobody sees them and I don't have to deal with it because it's in the box. But then the box disappeared and it was gone and I didn't know where the box went and so I started to freak out a little bit. And apparently spies are breaking into our house. That's a new one. That's one I'm not okay with personally. There are people watching us and selling our personal business to the scandal papers, and not cool with that, especially when it involves you, because it involved you, and now it involves my friends. You know how I feel about that. So I was like, it'd be cool to take them down. So we organized this big party that's coming up in Lady Flora's, and I thought that was gonna be fine because I was just gonna make a fool of myself in public because I can always recover from that. That's fine. I don't really care much for my reputation, but it got complicated, Freddie. It got really complicated. It got bad. I made it worse. I made it really worse. You see, um, Letitia, my dear Letty, her ex is back in town, and it's taking everything, every fiber of my being, to not just pull a Verity on her. And also, I'm helping Lady Flora with the party planning because I'm trying to be take a page out of your book and be responsible and great and nice and available for my friends. That's actually fine. I have no complaints about that. But and Arden like grabs you by the shoulders,
Ah,
like
yeah.
Charlie's here. He's
Oh.
here. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know if he left, but I was here with Letty, and we were talking about their situation, and the twins told me he's here, and he was in the sitting room, and he's writing me notes, and I think I'm going to implode. I don't know what to do. I haven't been inside in so many hours.
Oh.
I'm so
Oh. Oh.
thirsty.
Oh no. I think when Arden says Charlie, a lot of stuff clicks. And Freddie's like, okay, I don't I think what we're going to do here is instead of trying to fix things, we're going to make them so worse it goes back around to being fixed. I'm a little concerned about with you hanging out with Miss Verity, but we'll have another discussion on that. But I do have one solution right now, and not to draw this out, I think Frederick walks into that house, finds Charlie, and kicks him out.
Oh,
No, he's been long gone.
he's
Like
gone
he
now.
Then
left.
he
Yeah.
goes in
He,
with full intention to be like, I can do one thing for my brother right now. Show me where he is.
the one of the staff members says we told him that Mix Arden was unavailable, and he said he would be in town for uh, the rest of the season.
Uh, the
He's gonna
worst.
be these. I imagine that this is close to the end of the season, so maybe like a couple weeks, 3 weeks
Uh,
Oh.
tops.
even
Yeah.
a day is. One second, Arden, you can come in.
Arden will kind of like Pink Panther, like cling to the walls, like in the
This
shadows.
this
Someone
really
get my
tall.
brother a tall glass of water and a short glass of.
Nice.
uh, you see, because the staff recognize Freddy as well, you see three of them just move simultaneously to, follow directions.
And I'm okay with like leaving it like just like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freddie is now ready, all on board. The Blair siblings.
For the audience's sake, we still don't know what happened with Charlie. We'll find that out. But Freddie, was the only person to root for their relationship. The only one. Now he's
Whatever
helping.
makes Arden happy, and if Arden's not happy right now, I will destroy.
Freddy's about to.
I need Verity and Freddie
Freddy's
to
about
start
to throw
hanging out.
hands.
Yeah, they might be bad influences on you.
No, I need them to start hanging out for real because it's just gonna be so funny.
Yep.
Look, that's why fan fiction exists.
Also, really quick. Can
Yeah.
I spend a resolve token to set something up? I don't know how many I've left. I might have used all of them.
No, it's fine. I gave you one, so we can just spend that one instead of marking it on your sheet.
Okay.
What do you want?
This is for Megan.
For
And
Megan?
you can choose, because you are Freddie, you can choose to whatever you feel about this. I would like to have Arden at some point while we're doing all of this under the radar suggest that Lady Flora is single, because I think the two of them would get on really well. They're the same kind of sensible, but Freddie's just a little fun.
I love it. I love it.
He's kind of
Are we
under the
cool with
radar,
this?
and with your consent as
Maddie?
well, Maddie. Yeah.
Are we cool with this? Matt
Yeah,
Baker.
for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. I don't even. We'll just put that resolve token over to underneath of Freddy's situation because Flora's got a ton of them. Where is Freddy? Okay.
Lady Flora's with a Blair, but we didn't say which one.
Oh, delightful.
Ah!
We didn't say which one. We said which one, but that didn't leave the house.
Nobody knows.
Nobody
It's
knows.
fine. I love this. This is brilliant. This is Galaxy Brain. Okay. Excellent. I think that is a perfect way to conclude.
Thank you for
episode
the little
4.
additional sibling time.
Yeah, thank you.
Listen, it only took us like what, 5 extra minutes overtime? No big deal.
Yeah.
Professionals.
I wanted it. I wanted it. I wanted it. And considering that we had some technical difficulties, that was a nice little treat. We earned it.
Yes.
I
Facts.
think as much as I love romances in this style of game, the sibling power is strong in Avondale. You know, we started off with the Gardners, we got the Drummonds and the Blairs. Like, I love me some good, wholesome sibling relationships. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for that.
Absolutely. Like
Nice.
even Arden and Letty, it's like
They're
siblings
practically
that aren't
siblings.
related.
Yeah.
They're sibling energy.
I love how we
Yeah.
went from pen pals to I would lay down my life for this person in like the span of an episode. It's so good.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I love it.
Look, it was always like that. We just didn't have time to address it.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, I am so absolutely delighted to be the facilitator for this table. Let's go around the table and do some outros, and we are going to start with Maddie this time.
Yes, hello. I have been Maddie Searle. You can find me on the Bird app at Maddie_abstract. If you search Maddie Searle on Mastodon and Hive Social, you can probably find me as well. And you can also head to my newly revamped website, snazzytapier.com, to find out about the podcast that I make. So I made a podcast called The Prickwillow Papers back in 2018, which is a comedy fantasy audio drama. And I also have a few episodes out of a Doctor Who discussion podcast called The Empty Children, which I'm hoping to get back on track soon. Fingers crossed. Who knows? Life happens.
That sounds awesome, and I want to listen to that and catch up on Doctor Who. I'm very behind.
It's all about the Russell T Davies era, so it is.
Okay, perfect.
That's lovely. And then we will go to Anya.
Yeah, hi, I'm Anya. I will continue to be Anya. I'm referencing how Maddie phrased things. Anyway, you can find me literally everywhere at Lalian Cosplay, all one word. It's incorrect below me at the moment. Hopefully we'll get that fixed for next week. But yes, I rebranded everything. Lalian Cosplay, literally everywhere that you can think of, except for on Start Playing, which is where I am a pro GM. Lalian is my username there. And let's see, this Saturday is part 2 of the Changeling game that I'm in on Manapot Studios. So I hope you'll come check that out because it's really, really fun. I love my character so much.
And oh, that's great. I love to support my friends. And then Liz.
That's me. Also just clicked for me that I am producing. So remember that. That was I was like, man, this is weird. What am I looking at? It's OBS. It's been a day, guys. It's been a day. Hey everybody, I'm Dauntless. You can call me Daunt or Liz. I'm a TTRPG content creator, variety streamer here on Twitch. For those of you on the TTRPG side, you might know me. It's been a hot minute, but you might know me as the GM of Stormborn's Curse, which was a 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons pirate-themed homebrew adventure with a queer diverse cast. We are currently on hiatus, and we're going to be hopefully making our return summer 2023, fingers crossed, with the sort of reboot situation. So keeping out for there, that might be where you recognize me from, or from other Girls Run These World games. Sapphic Slumber Party was, I think, the big one that I did. Where can you find me? Excellent question. Twitter at Daunt_Liss. You can find me on Twitch as Dauntless, one word. I think I've typed in chat, so if you click on my username, it should take you there. And you can also find me on Ko-Fi, because I'm in the process of, I pointed at Anya, and that's not where Anya is. I'm also in the process of setting up my Start Playing, but until that's put together, if you are interested in having me run a game for you, I'm very open to good society, but I mainly work in Dungeons and Dragons, and I will learn any system for you. We can talk about that, but you can find that on my Ko-fi where I do book commissions similarly. So you can split the cost with you or your group, and I'll run a one shot for you. It's a really great gift for the holidays as well if you're looking for something to get the TCRPG player in your life and you're not really sure what millions of dice to get them or anything similar to that. Book a one shot. They'll never forget it. I think that's all I do. I don't know. Somebody else go.
Um, sorry. I'm gonna say go, Megan. 'Cause I
Ah,
think you're the only one left.
yeah, I think I'm the only-
And
I-
you.
I'll get there. I'll
Okay.
get there.
Yeah.
Megan, go.
Hi, I'm Megan. You can find me at Twitter still at Quai Not, and I have like a little pinned card thing at top which says where other places I'm at or will be. Um, if you like Monster of the Week, I'm part of a podcast, $2 Creature feature. You can find on your podcast. I play a flake who comes from a family of chosen ones, so she's a different kind of mess. Um, and then starting next year, I will be part of a Vampire of the Masquerade show called Kind and Country as a Nosferatu named Clove who has spider friends.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Oh.
they live in her.
Oh.
Anyway,
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
that's a
You
plot twist.
physically can't get closer to your friends, and I love that for her.
Exactly.
Okay,
And then yeah, just check my socials and all the other stuff I do.
right. That's a whole thing. Okay, hi. Hi, my name is Anne. I am the facilitator of this Good Society game. I am also the community ambassador of Girls Run These Worlds. What do? I just hype up this entire channel and all my friends who work on it. So that's what I do. Let's see what. I stream things on my own channel, Bardic Inspiration Network. I play Power Rangers. I play multiple Power Rangers. It's kind of my thing right now. On Thursdays, I am playing the Blue Thunder Ranger on my friend Matt's channel. GM underscore X underscore MG on Twitch. She's a disaster who currently has a crush on another disaster on her team, but also is just overly busy and panicked medic. On Fridays, I play on my own channel. I play a Silver Ranger who is very rebellious and doesn't like being put into boxes and does whatever she wants. Also, she works for her mom as a researcher and digs up old stuff because she's an archaeologist. It's a whole thing. That is on Bardic Inspiration Network at 1 p.m. Eastern this Friday. And before we go on a raid, I just want to say a couple of things. Number one, Girls Run These Worlds is a wonderful channel. If you enjoy the work that we are doing, if you want to support us, please subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on Twitch if you can. If you have your Prime sub, why don't you toss it over to us? You're already paying for it by paying for Amazon Prime anyway, right? Yeah, because all of the money you will be putting in goes right back to the channel. Everybody, you know, working behind the scenes. So that would mean the world to us. Um, let's see. The creator app is always open. It's pinned on our Twitter at Girls Run Worlds. So if you have an idea you want to share and you want to run for this channel and you are femme presenting, marginalized gender, person that would fit the bill, reach out to us. We're always looking for the next new story. Um, Upcoming shows this evening at 7:30 p.m. We got Monster of the Week, the Arcane Core Seekers. Sorry, I know how to English with Sade, the keeper of that story. Their table. They are rocking it out. I am absolutely thrilled to share Mondays with them. Talented group of storytellers. And also tomorrow evening, it's Spy. or the spy game with Glyza. My brain is not working. So make sure you check that out over the next couple of days. We also have a casting call um, for Baba Yaga's Dragon Age game. Details on Twitter. So just make sure you guys check that out. Yeah, we are going to be rating Manapot Studios. So if you could just hang on tight for a minute, we're going to send you over there.
One of you is
Yeah,
going to have to initiate the raid
yes,
from.
I'll do that. I'll do
Okay.
that.
Yeah, I
I
don't
got
have
this.
the account. I'm beaming in.
No, it's okay. I got it. I got it. It's a thing I can do. So if you'll just hang on tight for a minute, I'm gonna go set that up. Again, thank you very much, and we'll see you next week for our grand finale. Bam.
Yay! Ready for chaos?
I mean, chaos is a given.
Chaos. What? It's gonna be
Well,
so chill. It's gonna be so chill and nothing's gonna
Oh
happen.
yes, the most relaxed game ever.
Oh yeah. No, like 2 things maybe.
Again, I would love to thank the audience because without y'all, we wouldn't be able to do this. So thank you very much for all of your support. Hang tight for the raid. Thank you very much. See you next week.
Bye.
Okay. Let me know when the raid goes through because I don't want to end stream before the raid goes through.
No, it's cool.
Okay. Hold.
It's okay. We are good.
Did you send the raid? Okay, there we go.
Yeah, raid's done.
And